Hey, podcasters. Have a podcasty day.
I feel like we could try to come up with something more than that, but that's pretty good for today.
Oh, pretty tired.
Aw, well, welcome to your Wednesday edition, or whenever you choose to be listening to this podcast.
Right. So today we talk about Roseanne because we have to, because everybody is, because you can't not talk about it. So there's that. Though, admittedly, it doesn't get deep analysis. We just talk about it. I mean, if you want deep analysis, the 24-hour news networks are just...
That is something we'll let them do.
It's all right there. So there's that. We talk about that weird thing Bethesda's doing with their live stream. And if you're like, what's that? Well,
we'll learn about it.
You'll find out. We talk about a North Korean burger joint, pink zuns, marshmallows and lava, fundraising ideas.
Oh, I like that one. I feel like we could do something fun with that if you're just willing to.
Sure. And also what happens when an airplane has a little problem in Canada.
A.
So.
And you know what is ironic is for all the times that people say Canadians only apologize, the airline and the airport wouldn't even apologize.
No apologizing.
And that's something very Canadian that people who don't hear apologies a lot appreciate.
And think about this, like it's finally something worth apologizing for.
Yeah, you actually have something that you should be saying that for.
You know, there are people apologizing for things that are worthless. This is something that's like, you know what?
This is important.
Let's get an apology going here, okay?
This is so that you can move on. So we'll cover what they're apologizing for.
Yes, indeed. So you guys enjoy the podcast. Thanks for hanging with us every day. Remember, even though Nikki and I, this is recorded, you can always find us. Go to riot.radiou.com. You can email us, or you can find us on Twitter. You can find our Facebook page, all that stuff. Stop by and say hello.
Yes, we would love to hear from you. Riot.radiou.com. It's where it's all located.
It is the Riot.
The Worst of the Riot box set is now available nowhere because we know you wouldn't want it anyway. It's The Worst of the Riot on RadioU.
Yesterday, I was shocked by how fast they canceled Roseanne. Anybody else shocked by that? I mean, I think it took 10 minutes.
I think that was about, which makes you wonder. No, I don't know if I really think that. Like, were they excited for A Way Out? Because it had such big numbers, but I don't think it's kept like living up to those numbers.
Right.
So I don't know. Did it become too much for them, and they were happy for A Way Out? Maybe.
I don't know.
But they were awfully quick, more quicker than any other network normally is.
I was just shocked. I still don't know how long it actually took, but it was so fast.
Seems like it was right away.
Like an hour. I don't know. I just know that I had an appointment yesterday, and I was waiting in my car, and I looked down, and it was like Roseanne something racist tweet. And I was like, okay, so it's Tuesday. Like, it sounds right, whatever. And then I went in, came out, checked my phone. It was like Roseanne canceled, and I was like, oh, they want it to be canceled. People are calling for it to be canceled. And they're like, no, they canceled it that fast.
Now, this will be the only thing you hear news-wise
for the
next quite a few days.
I mean, again, I think it's worth talking about, just if for nothing else, the shockingly fast turnaround. I'm still amazed. I always feel like, now granted, TV is not the government, but I feel like every time somebody does something wrong or shady, they're like, well, we're investigating. We're looking into it. We'll get back to you. And months go by, years go by, you never hear the outcome, whatever. This was like Roseanne, racist tweet, and fired. Boom. It felt like kind of what you just said. Like they had been waiting for the moment. Like, all right, guys, we're totally doing this as soon as whatever happens. And boom.
Obviously people, the tweets themselves were wrong, but then it was sad to see, everybody else who's involved in the show with bringing it back, because there was a lot of emotions with that.
Yeah.
And it was sad to see everybody just have that taken away too.
Hey man, it's rough. Some guy, he was so excited that he's running camera on that show that just got picked up for a second season.
And then that's it. The whole cast and crew, it's gone.
Now he's looking for a job. And it just kind of one of those things that, oof, that's rough.
It's like you almost wish Roseanne could have gone on a vacation. Like in the show, it's like everybody else could have still been there, but that they didn't do that.
That's not unprecedented in television history, Nikki.
It can be done. And that was, again, why it was so quick. It was like, oh, the whole show is canceled. Okay.
What was it? Kevin Can Wait. His wife just suddenly died so they could bring in Leah Remini or whatever her name is. So, I mean, it happens. It's out there.
It
but
does.
It is hard when the show's called Roseanne to do the show.
Yeah. It's a lot, which I think it's why.
It's probably, where they were coming from on that. So, yeah, man, fastest cancellation in the history of whatever. I did see who I don't even know who it was yesterday tweet like, if this all could have happened a little sooner, they could have sent Roseanne to Starbucks yesterday afternoon and
for the training,
maybe gotten some of that taken care of. I don't know, but I was like, yeah, right. Like that. Just dang. But that didn't happen.
Maybe Twitter should have a function where they're like, are you sure? Because I don't think you should be doing this.
I saw Derek Minor, one of our hip hop artists, his response was, he's like, people need to stop treating Twitter like group chat.
Yes.
And I was like, yeah.
Even though that's wrong to say in group chat too, but especially public.
No, I get that. But I think that might even have been because that was not the first thing Roseanne said on Twitter that was a little
and I think a lot of people could subscribe to that thought.
Oh, no.
A lot of people could.
We could all learn a little bit from that. Like, hey, guys.
Take a moment and don't say that.
Think it through.
The Riot is an award-winning morning show.
It's literally a medal for sucking. Now that is a medal for trying.
Okay.
Radio U.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm watching Bethesda's Twitch channel right now. That's what I'm doing.
For what?
Well, yesterday they went live on Twitch.
That's a game company, right?
They are.
Bethesda?
Uh-huh. And they're the people that make Fallout. They're the people that make the Elder Scrolls or Skyrim, as you might know it. And, of course, they also have published several other games. They've already announced that Rage 2 is coming out this year. Last year they published Wolfenstein 2. And now
all the classics.
Now on Twitch, you've got a picture of, and he's sleeping right now, Pip-Boy sleeping in front of his TV, basically. And if you're like, what's that? If you know Fallout at all, he's the little guy that you always see pop up in Fallout stuff. So it's a little doll of him sleeping in front of a TV that says, please stand by.
So does this mean an announcement is coming?
It means that an announcement must be coming. Now, a lot of people are speculating, hey, it's going to be a Fallout announcement because, look, it's the little Fallout guy. But other people are saying, no. This could be the new Skyrim.
Ooh, that just might be a diversion tactic.
I'll tell you what I think it's going to be, and I think it's going to be disappointing beyond words.
You think so?
I think they're going to announce Fallout 4 for the Switch.
And that might be disappointing.
That's what I think this is. I think they're announcing Fallout 4 for the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, that might be.
Because,
and we're sorry if that is something exciting for you, but for a majority of the people, that's not what they want to hear.
I'm sure there's somebody somewhere that would be exciting for, but that's what I think. I've also seen speculation. People are saying, no. They've taken Fallout 3 and they've recreated it in the Fallout 4 engine. So I don't think that's it. I think it's going to be Fallout 4 for the Switch because they released Skyrim for the Switch. Mm-hmm. They released Doom for the Switch. And I think they're going to...
This follows right along.
Mm-hmm, because I don't know if you guys have noticed, it's a lot less money to just take something that already exists and put it on a new thing than it is to make a new thing.
That's a shame.
I mean, Skyrim's been re-released about 14,000 times.
Can you imagine if there was a new Skyrim?
No.
Like people aren't able to handle that right now.
The economy can't handle that right now. We need people to go to work.
No one's going to work. No one's eating. No one's taking care of themselves. No one's nothing.
People are taking months off of work just to get ready.
I mean, that Skyrim was a hole and was very hard to get out of for a lot of people.
I saw people, emerge years later.
Yeah.
They'd forgotten they had even existed. And it's like, oh, I did it all. I did everything.
Well, again, stay tuned, then they're saying, to the Bethesda Twitch channel, and they'll release details on something.
We don't know what, and we don't know when, but we are now, let's see, I think as of today, we're 2 weeks away from E3, which is the Electronics Entertainment Expo, where they will be unveiling
lots of stuff. All
the video games. Though I guess in reality, probably next weekend is when the press conferences start. So, man... Please stand by.
I can't wait.
In the meantime, I'm just going to be watching all this spam in the Twitch chat channel.
The worst of the riot. Proof that you're already living in that dark future dystopia. Radio U.
Oh, big stretch. Yeah. Oh, dude, just everything, dude. This feels so good.
Thanks a lot.
It's hard, because we didn't come to work on Monday, and now it's Wednesday, and... It's been a long week.
You just wrecked me.
I feel the blood flowing now in my arms. That was a really great stretch.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, everybody else, wake up. Wake up.
You did that to me. I was fine. I came into this ready, and you just shut me down.
Couldn't help it.
So what are we going to do about it? How do we fix this?
Well, what did you want to talk about?
The problem?
Oh, being tired?
Yeah, no, we don't have to. I did have details here about the Gloucestershire cheese rolling event.
Oh, are they still doing that?
Nikki, they've been doing it for a long time.
It's a tradition.
It is a tradition.
It's basically the one event. I always expect like Red Bull to sponsor it or something, but they take the cheese wheel, they push it down the hill, and then you have different categories and you chase after it. And one person, if you catch the cheese or if you're alive at the end, because you can really get injured.
It's crazy. Like they have people like tons of broken bones every year. They have ambulance people at the bottom, like waiting to haul you off to the hospital. And it's just this huge hill in Gloucestershire.
It's just stuff. It's okay. We don't have to say it.
Okay, all right. But it's a 1 to 2 gradient. So it's incredibly steep. And they take a cheese wheel and they roll it down the side of the hill and people go chasing after
Again,
the wheel.
A long tradition. Back when tradition started, when it was like, yeah, what should we throw down the hill? It's like, why not the cheese wheel? And people went after it, and then that started the tradition.
Bro, you know what would be awesome? What if I threw this cheese?
No, that's too current of a word.
I know, but like
I don't know what else.
You got to put it in whatever that was, like
ye olde bro or something back then.
I have no idea what to say. Ye
brotheth.
Army regular.
Something.
I don't know. Whatever.
Well, I think this went way back before. Way back.
So Chris Anderson has now taken home. He has won the race 22 times in 14 years. So do they do it twice a year?
No, I think they have more than one race during the thing.
Oh, that's exactly what it is.
So you can win different, like heats.
Yep. You're right. So in 14 years, he's won 22 times, which is more than anybody else.
What do you get?
Cheese.
Do you get to keep the cheese that came down?
You get to keep the cheese.
Is it an actual cheese one, or is it like a trophy? Meaning,
no, it's real cheese.
Can you keep the cheese?
Yeah.
Well, no, like how long does cheese wheels last? It's a long time?
I think so. Yeah, I mean, you take it home and then you cut it. And then you eat it.
Well, I think you can't cut it if you want it to last years and years and years.
Well, no. Don't you want to eat some of this wonderful
Eventually. I
cheese?
mean, it depends on how much he's winning.
I'll just tell you right now, I've never had my own cheese wheel.
Me neither.
What? We should get our own cheese wheel.
Well, we could
small
look.
One?
Yeah,
Doesn't have to be
no, we looked at the one at Costco that one time.
Yeah, it was like $800, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a huge cheese wheel. It's like what a restaurant must buy or something. Or if you just have cheese money.
I think you can just the right kind of cheese, you can just leave it out. Just sits
without
around.
Refrigerating it?
I think so.
You put a little wrap around the opened end?
Maybe.
Little foil or something?
I don't know very much about cheese.
Me neither.
Though, what a fascinating subject. You and I could become experts on cheese. And
as long as you don't expect us to chase it down the hill, because I don't want to break any bones.
I do like a good sharp cheddar.
Do you?
Yeah. I'll take that. But I'm not running down the hill.
No, thank you.
No way. I've already broken too many bones. I'm not interested in it. If you ever get a chance, it's worth looking at video or pictures of it because
just people go crazy for it.
It is crazy to see it. So I'm out. But you know what? Good on them for maintaining this stupid tradition.
And this, yes, it is. And do you want to try to pronounce the city name one more time, the town name? Gloucestershire?
Gloucestershire? Gloucester? Gloucester?
Why don't you look it up online?
No. It's more fun not to know.
To get it wrong every time?
It's better to not know.
The cheese wheel race that they have every year.
Yeah, better not to know.
The Riot.
Apparently some of the less athletic types go nuts for this stuff.
RadioU.
So, the whole nuclear summit between North Korea and the United States, it's rough. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but we got some real characters running those countries. And so they're having a hard time deciding when to sit down, if to sit down, what's going to happen. But I really love the headline that has emerged from this is that there's a CIA report that says, look, North Korea is not going to give up its nuclear arsenal. But something that they are discussing at the highest levels of North Korean society is, hey, what's a conciliatory gesture that we could do towards the Americans and their president? And they've been talking about opening a burger restaurant as a way to
cross what they feel is
the cultural divide.
I've seen a couple of things from North Korea, and they have like their version of what would be our fast food.
Yeah.
But they just said it's basically not obtainable for a majority of people. Like you just can't eat there. And so they don't really have a lot of business.
One of the things they were talking about, and this is like, hey, some of this goes back to during the campaign, then Donald Trump, not yet president, had made comments about wanting to sit down and have a burger with Kim Jong-un and see if they could just talk some things out. So,
burgers bring people together.
They're saying, hey, we're going to build a burger joint and you guys come on up and we'll have a little chit chat.
Well, I think if you just take it out of there and put a neutral ground and have a hamburger there.
Like in the demilitarized zone?
No, somewhere else. Just pick a different place.
Okay.
So like have to go out of both.
A third-party location.
Yes.
All right.
Like a Burger King. A third party outside of a Wendy's and a McDonald's.
Well, I'm glad that you're starting to mention names because this became the question that I had to ask. If you...
In-N-Out.
Okay.
Doesn't matter what the question is.
All right, because my question was actually going to be that, Nikki, it's going to be your job to cater the nuclear summit, and you have to do burgers.
If we have In-N-Out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, you know what Nikki and I say? You can't make a fist when your hands are wrapped around a burger.
You can't. And the little fries. You can do the animal stuff if you want. If not, you don't have to.
Well, you just ask them.
A little milkshake, a little something, and suddenly there's peace in this world.
Well, the only thing that I get a little concerned about is remember that allegedly Kim Jong-un was sent away to a rehabilitation clinic because of a cheese addiction.
True.
So... will he be able to sit in a room where people are eating cheeseburgers, but he can only have a burger?
A hamburger? Is this what triggers? I don't know.
He can't have any cheese. All of a sudden, he sees President Trump biting into a cheeseburger and loses his mind.
Could be. Now, there's a long list. You could do a Whataburger. You could do a Shake Shack. You could do Five Guys.
But you're like.
But I think we need to go a little bit more along that list. Well, Whataburger's not compared to like a McDonald's or a Wendy's.
I think you're in and out. I feel like that's a good choice.
I think I'm going with it.
Okay.
And also, you could have a little bit of problems because there's always a line. So.
Well,
get a little angry.
Again, Nikki, like this is one of those things that I feel like we're going to be able to talk to them. And because like they did what they do in Australia, they had a pop-up In-N-Out location that was open for like a day. And of course, they had to go to great lengths because they won't freeze the meat, et cetera, et cetera.
Happen.
So you know what? With the United States military at their disposal, I feel like In-N-Out could do a pop-up restaurant.
We could do that.
At a nuclear summit where they could both have the burger and we could all have peace. I think it sounds great. In fact, I'm surprised that the phone's not ringing right now.
It's
weird.
More wonderful ideas.
Is this thing hooked up? I don't think the phone's hooked up. It's 877-2-RADIO-U.
Because we're all just dreaming of eating.
You know what, Nikki? I may be a dreamer, but I'm not the only one.
Imagine a world where the Riot never talks and it's glorious RadioU music for hours on end. Now, imagine the opposite of that. You're already there. It's the worst of the Riot on RadioU.
Hey, while we're talking food, let's just go ahead and talk about National Fish and Chip Day.
Ooh, yes, fish and chips.
I think that's something that's really like a UK thing.
Yeah, but we can have that all year. Like, it could be everywhere.
So the good people at the Daily Mail, which is a British thing, they have...
It means more to them than it does to us.
It does, but they have gathered together a series of photos showing some DIY deep-fried stuff.
Yeah.
And man.
Looks good.
People are just deep-frying everything, Nikki. Look at this. Here's deep-fried pizza. They didn't even work on it. They just threw the pizza in the deep fryer.
And it turned out really good?
Deep fried butter, I know that there's that part of you that's like, oh, yeah, I love that. I don't think that sounds good at all.
But people say it works well, better than you think it does. But that's a fair fried food to us, one that you can get, if you go to your local state fair.
Deep fried pineapple upside down cake?
Maybe.
And then like deep fried ice cream. That's
You know what's really good?
what?
Deep fried Oreos, Snickers, and Buckeyes.
Yeah, it's the Buckeyes.
That's the trifecta right there. That's the good stuff.
So that actually, I will tell you, if you've never had that, if you don't know what a Buckeye is, it's basically a peanut butter ball that's been dipped in chocolate.
That alone is good.
It's amazing. And then they take that, batter it up, deep fry it, and sometimes they'll put, I don't think it's necessary, whipped cream on it.
No, the powdered
I've seen the powdered sugar and a little
That's a
chocolate
good
sauce,
one.
maybe. Mm-hmm. That makes me want to go to the fair.
Actually, the place that I like for fish and chips, they do the deep fried candy bars too, because I think it just goes well.
Yeah, I've had theirs actually.
They all have I don't know if they're sharing the same fryer, but they got space for it, so they'll just fry whatever.
Ooh, I would also. We never did get to try, or did you, the deep fried Cadbury cream egg?
No, I didn't try that one.
I would give that a whirl.
You try that one.
You know, for Christmas last year, I got an air fryer, and I feel like that's as far as I'm allowed to go.
We can only fry with air, not oil.
Yeah, I mean, technically, the air fryer does fry with oil. It's just a convection oven kind of thing, but boy, I see these deep fried photos, and I just feel that DIY spirit raising up in me saying,
looks good.
Let's
or we
do
just
this.
wait, and if we wait when we go to our fair, again, there's normally a state fair. If you try any of the booths, there's always a long list of things you can get deep fried now.
Nikki's telling the truth.
And I always like my deep fried veggies, and I know you're like, this is not the same level as the candy bar,
Nikki.
but they're so good too with that tempura. It's just great.
No, I feel like when you go to the fair and get a deep fried veggie, you're trying to prove something.
No, it's good.
You're trying to prove something.
You know those are not healthy.
Exactly.
I don't even know if they're veggies.
At that point, I don't understand what we're doing.
There's so much batter on it, it's not.
If you're going to deep fry a veggie, just go ahead and deep fry the chocolate. Just get it. Let's just do it that way.
The Riot.
They hate me. They hate you. They hate us.
Why else would they make us listen to the worst of the Riot? Radio U.
Oh, Nikki. Oh, my gosh. Are you ready to take a trip down technology memory lane?
Yeah, let's go.
I don't know how I ended up seeing this, but somewhere in, I know what it is. It's my hometown's buy-sell trade page on Facebook. And sometimes it'll give me a notification like, your friend posted something for sale. And sometimes I look. Apparently today I did. Right underneath the thing my friend is selling, for $115 is a limited edition pink Microsoft Zune.
Oh, see, I never had a Zune.
I know.
You did.
I know.
Because you were like, no, this is great. And then I had the iPod.
Oh, yeah.
And it was when Baby and Nikki and Baby Obi, we had a road trip.
Yeah.
I remember you had that with you.
Oh, yeah.
Yours looked like a chocolate bar or something. It was brown.
It was brown.
Yeah.
And because they were like, brown's a great color, everybody.
Let's make brown. And apparently they made pink.
They made pink.
Why are they selling it for that much money?
That's a lot.
That's not a collector's item, because you can do old school iPods for a lot of money.
Yes, you can.
Because people just like to,
they
have
like
that.
the click wheel.
Yeah, they just like to have that classic look to it. But I've never heard someone wanting to pay money for that, for a Zune.
$115. I feel sorry for her.
I wouldn't even give $15.
You want to pull this lady aside and just
let
be like,
alone
listen.
the 100. Well, maybe look it up on eBay or something. Maybe we don't know. There's a whole world of these things.
You think there's a whole Zune market out there?
It could be, yeah.
People that are just
really willing to spend money to buy that.
Oh, yeah. Here's one for $125.
Maybe. Maybe it's for parts.
But here's one for $15.99.
And there, we're back down.
The Zune HD for $99. So, actually, here's the thing.
It's really the only reason why people are willing to spend money is for the storage size of a lot of the stuff.
Yeah. I will tell you, as someone that owned two different Zunes, I had the original one, and then I ended up with a small portable one. The original one was a brick, but it was killer. That thing,
long battery life.
It worked great. It was a great piece of tech with its 3-inch screen.
But everything back then lasted longer, whereas now it won't last hardly. We don't want to spend the money on more space.
Yeah.
And it just dies quicker.
So 30 gig for that thing was good. But the portable one, that thing, they were both portable. The really small one that was their Zune Nano, basically, that thing was not good. It broke. I used that to run for it didn't even make it a year. The the buttons quit working. Like, I had all kinds of problems with it, and that was the end of that little guy.
Well, if you want a pink one, $115. No. And I don't like to instigate. Sometimes, like on Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace, people will tell you what they think of your posting. And
yeah, no, I'm not doing that.
I don't think you need to. Just let the person be.
Well, I mean, no one else is going to be bothering them.
It's true. That is true. No one's even going to be questioning.
I just look at it, I'm like, oh, like for you, that meant something to you.
And that's why they can't sell it for the actual price.
The funny thing about it is, it actually, now that looking back at it, that thing was way ahead of its time. You could share music with people, like if they had a Zune, which that only ever happened to me one time. Yeah. But like if you had MP3s and they wanted to listen, you could share it with them, and they could listen to them like 5 times, and then they had the option of buying them if they wanted. They also had Zune Pass, which again, now is like Spotify, nobody cares, but that was an unlimited download service that you could download as much as you wanted, put it on your Zune, take it with you anywhere you went, and everybody's like, that thing's so stupid. And now everybody does that.
Now that is still stupid, but everything else that they did tech-wise is smart.
Right. So I guess what I'm saying is we were all us Zune people were just way ahead of its time.
Right. Why don't you message a person, just ask them to let you know what it sells for, just because you're curious.
Maybe do they have can you follow it?
I don't think so, but I think I'll just pull up in your history with it, like of things that you've seen.
It's been up here for more than 2 weeks.
Yeah, I don't know then. Maybe.
No one's commented
buying
on it. Yeah.
The part that keeps me up at night, we paid them for this. It's the worst of the riot on RadioU.
Something that Nikki and I like to remind you is that when you see a sign somewhere, someone's posted a sign that says, don't do this. Almost without fail, the reason that sign exists is because somebody somewhere did that.
And they had to put the sign up. Enough people did it.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're like, oh, that's stupid. No one would do that. Wrong. Enough people did to have to go and make the sign.
Which is why I'm just on some level thrilled to hear this news from the U.S. Geological Survey. They wanted to say to everybody, please don't roast marshmallows over the lava.
Now, in Hawaii, but when I read this, I feel like this was just a Twitter exchange. So I don't know if it seems like it's actually something people are trying to do. I don't think so. I think this was just them on Twitter explaining no, because someone asked the question.
Okay, I understand what you're saying, and you're right. They didn't post a sign. They didn't. But this has made news, and it is a Twitter exchange, but I feel like there are people out there that are doing this.
That still need to know?
I feel like it's a thing. I think there are people in Hawaii right now, they're like, well, there is an upside to all this volcanic activity, and that is roasted marshmallows whenever we want. Or, what about a hot dog?
Yes, something along.
Marshmallow.
But they talked about for the marshmallows, of course, you would not want to get so close. And then the fumes and the gases and stuff, you wouldn't want that. Mixed in with the sugar as well from the marshmallows. Okay. So it's a bad idea.
So,
in case you were ever wondering.
I didn't even think about the fumes.
Yes, that they say is the most dangerous part of it. You should not get close to the lava.
Yeah.
And I never thought I'd have to say that. But it's like, oh, you should not have to.
See, that's the part that I have a hard time with. I mean, I don't live in Hawaii, so I don't understand how it works. But
is it tempting to go and see it?
No, not that. It's just the idea of when somebody is like, don't get too close to the lava. You would never have to tell me that, because my thing would be like, hey guys, lava's coming out. I'd be like, and I'm on the plane.
But
how did I end up on this boat?
How is it with if someone's pulled over or a car wreck or some sort of animal thing or people will pull out their phones and they'll want to get closer to what's going on to be a part of the moment or to take a picture, or if there's lava there, they're going to want to go take a picture of it.
Nikki, you're looking at a coward right now.
You're not going to?
You're looking at a coward. This is a man that there's no bravery here.
So no marshmallows.
No
hot dogs.
No,
nothing over the lava.
No. I'm good. So I don't have to worry about myself when it comes to, no. Because I couldn't even live on Hawaii at all. Just knowing that it's a volcanic island, I'm like, guys, I can't be here. In fact, I don't even know if I can visit.
Well, the ocean also, you're not as much you're more of a pool fan.
Yeah,
You
Yeah,
like-
'cause-
you like to be closer to that water and more inland.
I like a lot of chemicals in it. And I know we're dumping chemicals into the ocean
Not
at
like
an
that.
unprecedented rate, but I don't feel like it's chlorine, you know?
I know. You hate the Riot. Why are they on the radio?
Stupid. Yeah.
Honestly, we can't trust them with anything else. It's the Riot on Radio U.
You know what I need, guys? I need some hot tips on how to save money on a hotel room in New York City.
Guys, it's hard to find.
It is not easy. I've been trying to book a hotel. I'm going to see a Broadway show.
You are?
Later in June, and I'm trying to find a hotel, and it's not cheap and it's not easy.
Unless you stay in New Jersey.
That's not cheap and easy. I started researching that. So I've got this all lined up. I thought I had found a hotel. It was about 3/4 mile away from the Hoboken station, which you grab a train, take it into Penn Station, and then from there, you go wherever you want to go in the city.
They caught on to it.
Well, here's the thing. I was looking and it was like, it's $150 a night. That's, not really bad if you think about it. So start doing the math on that. And then they're like, yeah, we got a lot of taxes you got to pay here.
Well, you're going to have that at any...
They just have a hotel fee.
Yeah.
Excuse me?
It's an honor to be at their hotel.
Is the room not the hotel fee? Isn't that the fee? The fee is what I'm paying for the room.
That's not true.
They're like, no. The hotel fee pays for the other parts of the hotel, like the fact that there's water.
If you stay in New York City, though, I mean, you get a lot of fees there, too. Especially, like, if you want to park your car, if you want to leave it at the hotel, like, you're in for some good charges.
How about between $60 and $100 a day for your car?
Extra charges.
That's just so your car can have a room. It needs a place to stay too.
Prices it's important
and
there.
To be clear, like all the hotels in Jersey also have a car rental rate, but it's lower. So like instead of $70 a night for your car in the city,
Why you try
$25 a night in Jersey.
Why you try an Airbnb? Or one of those, a house sharing thing? Or
no,
you're just not sharing?
That has to be worse, right?
No, I don't think so. You wouldn't have the same fees. You would just have to worry about where you would park your car.
Where would I put my car?
I don't think they do the same fees. And I've never done an Airbnb, and I'm not happy with some of their practices. So I'm not sure, but you wouldn't have the hotel fees.
My concern is that in trying to save money, I'm going to make things so much worse.
True.
Do you know what I mean, though?
I know.
Because you're like, no, this is going to be great.
It won't be easy.
He knows a guy who knows a guy that says we can park the car at that place.
Before you know it, you've been towed, and you got to make all your own meals because you're not at a hotel. But then maybe that's cheaper. Bring your snacks in.
I don't know. So I'm trying to figure it out. I have been digging and researching and looking, and it comes down to there is no inexpensive way to stay anywhere, I think, within 300 miles of New York City.
You have to go a couple states over.
Yeah. So, I mean.
Then in New Jersey, it's weird. You can't pump your own gas. Like, I try to go right through there.
So I need to see, maybe I can find a place to stay in northeastern Pennsylvania.
Yeah,
and then
why don't you try that?
I just take a train in.
Not too
it's a
close
5-hour ride.
Not too close to Philadelphia, though. Sometimes prices go up there.
Also true.
Why don't you just stay at home and drive in for the day? It's a long drive, but you can make it.
I have almost thought about it.
Yeah.
Like,
you just turn right around.
If I leave at 3 a.m., I can be there in time, and then we'll just come back. It'll be a 36-hour whirlwind tour.
Or you can stay in your car, during those moments, or a health club.
Do you mean like the Y?
If you need to shower or something,
like a mat or something. Do they
you don't stay there, but you can go shower.
Do they have LA Fitness in New York City?
Probably.
Do they call it New York Fitness there? I don't know.
These are questions.
These are questions.
We're just coming up with different ideas.
Just workshopping here.
Yeah.
Just workshopping. So, hey, for real, if anybody knows a guy who knows a place that knows a girl that one time had a cot for rent, let me know.
Even if there's a cot fee, that's all right.
Yeah, like, there's a cot fee, but then there's like a room fee, and then there's you didn't use the lights in there, did you? Well, we're going to have to charge you for that.
It's actually cheaper if you just keep driving around New York at night and not sleep instead of parking.
It's the worst of the riot, because calling it the best of the riot would be a lie. Radio U.
It is the Riots on Radio U, 877-2-RADIO-U. You can always call or text us. We're here. Thanks to everybody who has been, texting with some ideas about going to New York City. Danielle just says, New York drivers are incredibly impatient. I don't recommend driving there.
Oh, it's so fun. I love that.
You like with all the other impatient drivers?
I love driving in that.
Okay.
It's just, I told Obi, it's energizing just being in New York City.
Okay. I agree with that, though.
I don't mind.
I'm not dying to drive there per se, but, CT says that I should go to Ithaca, New York. Cornell has a shuttle that goes straight to New York City, and they say 3 hours it runs every day, and it's not just a Greyhound bus. It's a spacious bus with lots of snacks.
I mean, to take a 3-hour trip, though, that's still a long time.
So,
you're going to be tired by the time you get there.
Oh, not if we've relaxed on this spacious bus.
Sitting on a bus is still tiring because you're still on a bus.
I don't disagree with that. So I think what it comes down to is I bit off more than I can chew.
Sure.
Like it's it's going to be quite an undertaking, one way or the other. Still trying to figure it out.
Which is a reminder to me, Obadiah is available for any upcoming parties or events.
Oh, my gosh, yes. Please let me DJ your event.
If you're having a late graduation party, a wedding, or whatever, a birthday party, and you've always wanted this man right here to be at your party,
please.
You're welcome to hire him as a DJ.
I'm also good for cleaning gutters. Painting, mowing lawns.
Anything to raise money for Obi's New York City 2018 summer trip fund.
I'm also going to be having a car wash later, raising money that way. So,
and he's having a small bake sale as well.
Yeah. So, I mean, like really everything. And I'm also selling some stuff on Craigslist.
Oh, my gosh. It'd be awesome if you did a bake sale. We just put a little table out there. You put some cookies. You make those peanut butter.
I do.
Cookies at Christmas time.
You're right.
Could have that out there. You guys could drive on through and grab a little bag of cookies.
Yeah. Problem with a bake sale.
Yeah,
okay,
is.
As someone that's participated in bake sales, is that unless you get people to donate cookies for a bake sale, it's a wash.
But
because
we've got connections.
It costs as much to bake the cookies as it does when somebody
We've got connections with donut places and cookie places.
Right.
We get some donations from them. And before you know it, it's not a fundraiser for anything that you might think it is. It's his trip fundraiser.
Well, you know how it is.
You can do lemonade, some drinks.
Yes, I love it. Okay.
Maybe someone will donate a freestyle machine for a few hours and you can roll on through.
I'm sure it's like stop by and, for $2, you can
fill up,
freestyle,
get some food.
And if I could sell, what do you think, like 500 drinks? That should be good for like a night or two.
And quite a lot of cookies. And then your trip will be paid for.
Fantastic.
If not, we'll try to book you a couple more parties.
Really exciting. Really exciting. So, no problem.
Oh, I love travel planning.
Let's see.
This is what you get for trying to go on a vacation, which is not just going to see family.
You're right. Lisa says, we drove to New York City last fall, rolled in at 11:30 p.m. on a Monday night. There was no traffic except for trash trucks and cabs.
Nice.
So, there you go. I should go at 11:30 on a Monday night. Perfect.
That still doesn't give him a place to stay, so we still got to work on that.
Worst of the riot, not enough? Not enough. Check the blog and all things Riot at riot.radiou.com.
Nikki, when you think of Canada, aside from maple syrup, Tim Hortons, hockey, and Mounties, and milk in a bag.
What do I think?
What do you think of? Specifically, Toronto.
Toronto. Lovely town.
There was talk about, at least for me, I always hear about how clean it is. It's so clean there. Everything's so clean. They say it's like visiting a major American city, but it's clean. Which apparently our cities aren't, which we can vouch for. They're not.
It's fine.
They're filthy. I totally understand that. But this image that I have of clean Canada may be a little besmirched after what I've seen here. In Kelowna, which is a city in Canada.
Kelowna.
Where we lay our scene. Two star-crossed lovers.
In a very clean town.
Take their lives. No, let's talk here. May 9th, Susan Allen and her son are at a red light at the corner of Spall Road and Bernard Avenue. You know the one.
It, absolutely.
Their windows rolled down. It's a nice day. They've got their arms out. And then they say they saw an airplane flying over. And they saw stuff.
You don't have to tell me anymore.
You don't want to know anymore?
No, I think I know what's going to come.
Did
something fall from the plane?
Her son said that he felt a cold sensation a cold sensation.
This isn't one of what like a peppermint patty.
Hit the side of his face and his shoulder. Then
So his head was out of the car? Out the window?
I think it splashed in.
Oh.
He says, then a smell hit my nose. And then, let's see, the woman who was driving, the mom, this is Susan, and this is her son Travis, is the one that felt the cold sensation. Susan said she immediately started crying.
That's from the fumes? From, what is it, the blue stuff? The blue ice that they say.
I love the idea of you don't throw up, you don't yell, you don't get mad.
Your life's been changed right in that moment.
You just start crying because, yes, this is something that's dropped out of a plane.
They say
onto
the
your
planes,
car.
I think airlines say this doesn't happen.
They say it can't happen. It's impossible.
But it does.
But it does. She said, I almost vomited instantly. It was terrible.
Oh, and it was in the car and stuff and on them?
They had the windows down.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just that it hit the outside of the car, which would have been bad enough, but it splashed on them and in the car.
See, I think you could clean yourself up and get back to life, but I feel like your car, I mean, try selling that thing.
She said that they were coughing and gagging.
You couldn't have handled that.
And crying. And she drove to the nearest car wash where they hosed themselves off.
Yeah.
Hosed the outside of the car and then tried to get the inside cleaned off. And then the next day she woke up and her left eye was completely swollen.
From the fumes, yeah.
Something. She says, my eye was
Basically,
the size
in
of a
case
golf ball.
you haven't caught on, it's the toilet stuff gets released from the plane and falls down.
Mm-hmm.
That's what splashed them.
You're not
Plane
supposed
potty
to do
stuff.
that. It's not supposed to happen. It can't happen. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
So did they contact
But
the
it does.
airline or
Well,
any way to find
Here's
out?
what she says. She got in touch with Kelowna International Airport and just said, look, here's
Is there a
what
division
happened.
for this?
Here's what's going on. And they say, nope, not possible. There were no airplanes in the area. None. No airplanes.
Right.
No airplanes.
There's apps for that. Man, I would whip that app out and be like, I want to know the plane now.
Mm-hmm. We're trying to figure
Who
it out.
dumped this?
So they can't figure it out. Like they haven't been
there's
able
nothing
to
they can
track
do.
down like what happened. But
Aw, poor people.
well, the thing that gets me is that it's taken them 2.5 weeks to say something.
Well, okay. All right. Now I'm going to tell you this. Sometimes it's the shame that something has happened to you that you don't say
You just
anything
feel like you
yet.
can't say anything?
Like the time that I found the fingernail in the water.
Okay.
And I
All
had
right.
that. I didn't want to say anything because your body just shuts down.
Okay.
Like, let's just keep this to ourselves. And then
Okay.
eventually you start talking about it. You feel like you can.
Weeks later.
Yeah. So I'm not surprised about the 2 weeks because that was emotional for them.
Well, that's what's going on here. She said that the reason they didn't speak up is because no one wants to admit, and I quote, being pooped on.
It's a lot to handle.
It is.
It's a lot to be known for.
It is. I'll tell you what, when I woke up with my eye swollen shut, though, I'd be like, all right,
We're going to the doctor.
somebody's paying for this.
We are trying to figure this one out.
Someone's paying for this.
Aw, they can never get in a car, put their head out, feel the wind again. None of
I
that
do.
stuff.
I do think they can get in a car. I don't think they can roll the windows down again as long as they live.
They can't go on a plane probably either.
Oh, no, in a plane, it's fine. They're just like, yeah, whatever.
They're the ones causing the problems.
In fact, that's the only way they can get closure.
To
They
go
have to
back
go
on
up.
a plane.
They have to go get in a car and flush the tanks. They have to pass it on.
The worst of the riot is over, but the fun can keep going.
Hey, I saw you checking out my goods.
Check the Riot blog or stalk us on social media
You want to sample them? A little try before you buy, huh?
through riot.radiou.com.
No one wants to admit, and I quote, being pooped on.